Hi, welcome to an Idle Red Hands unboxing. I'm Lyle.
I'm Jeremy.
And today we're going to be unboxing the TORG Eternity Kickstarter that just arrived in this box. A little bit worried.
It's
got some holes.
Yes.
Yeah, a few holes in there, but we'll see. I mean, obviously this is the box that it came in, and this is the cargo box level, so I think there's going to be a box inside, but as you see there's still tape on there, so even I don't know what it's going to look like. And if you're unfamiliar with TORG, you can check out our Unearthing, where we look at older games, where we unbox this.
Yes, the original.
The original from 1990s. Yeah. That's 28 years ago. Boy,
wow.
I feel old.
Yes.
I was only 2 years old when it came out.
Right, yeah, right.
But we'll talk more about like the history of TORG in the Unearthing video, so please check that out. And this video is going to be exclusively about unboxing this bad boy. We won't talk so much about the rules or anything. We're just going to be looking at the components. If you want to learn about the rules for TORG Eternity, check in again a little bit later and we'll do a video on that. So definitely subscribe. Well, we opened the box and there was a lot of peanuts, so we decided to spare that exciting drama. So we just have to put them in the garbage. But hey, this is a nice surprise. This is from the company, Ulisses the German company with the North American team, and they were 2 months late for their Kickstarter. So they wrote a letter apologizing profusely for being slightly late and included 2 free dice.
Nice. One for each month. Right?
Oh yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
And themed dice, so red and blue.
Yeah, they call it the Eternity Shard D20 and an additional D6. So that's really nice. And people familiar with Kickstarter, two months is nothing.
Yes.
Nothing. But they were in the emails they were very apologetic and like no excuses kind of things. Well, I mean they had a reason, but didn't want to use it as an excuse. So yeah, I was really surprised. I knew there was something loose. Due to the email, I didn't know it was a free gift. So, and here's the box. This is the cargo box. It is massive. It's pretty heavy. There was damage to the outside box, but there was definitely enough peanuts.
Yes, it was well padded.
Space between, and so the box, the TORG Eternity Cargo Box actually looks pretty decent. Yeah, and that's that actually is heavy. So we'll see what it is. But it was a little bit dear. It was $200. Plus, being in Japan, an extra $50 for shipping. But we'll see if it's worth it.
All right,
so bear with us. This is the first time we've tried the 2-camera.
Yes, so we got a close-up. And
so we'll try with the close-ups in this. And
yes.
There's really nothing on the back. Wow, there's...
Wow. And more peanuts, all right.
All right, so yeah, that's
but
pretty
nice
sturdy cardboard.
Yeah, nice detail. So the box itself is...
So people familiar with TORG, one of their big gimmicks was a thing called the drama deck, which you use in game. And the drama deck, it's called the drama deck because they really wanted a cinematic experience. So they have like actions and scenes. I think one of the movies that they kind of based it on, or kind of the style the game after, was Indiana Jones.
Oh, really?
Like Raiders of the Lost Ark. And in 1990, when did Last Crusade come out?
Last Crusade was, early 90s, yeah.
We're not a cinematic podcast. Well, we are, at least not right now. So here's the drama deck. So we can open that a little bit later. And hey, we saw that die. And now I've got 2 of these. We've got
a bonus
card. Yep, there was a lot of bonuses. People familiar with Kickstarter, a lot of stretch goals were hit. Actually, it blew up.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Like, I think it was... possibility tokens. So possibilities are... You can use them for experience, but you can also use them in-game. I think people are really familiar with things like drawing a blank, inspiration from Dungeons and Dragons and other games like that. They're just like points you get that you can use to, let's say, for example, add another role. In TORG, people not familiar with TORG, you play Storm Knights. Earth is being invaded by High Lords, and each High Lord brings with it its own reality. And they have Storm Knights are people who are able to manipulate like the possibility energy around. It makes them better than your average person. Stands. It's a D20 game. It's a little bit. Well, I'm not familiar with this, but the old game was you would roll a D20 and then check a chart.
Right.
Because, hey, it was the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, everything had charts. You check a chart and your chart would give you your bonus based on what you roll. And again, our Unearthing will give you a much thorough overview of TORG as well as the old rules. And later on we'll do something more on the new rules. More peanuts.
Lots more peanuts.
If you were wondering what color were the peanuts in the main box, they were white. These are fluorescent green. And more cards, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there was a CD. That seems to be a popular addition.
Oh,
A soundtrack.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so do they theme based on the realm? Do you have themes for each of the?
Yeah, so
nice.
so they have Core Earth, which is Earth. Isle, which is Lord of the Rings, Scandinavia, Britain, is now like a fantasy land. Cyber Papacy, which would be cyberpunk combined with the Vatican or the Catholic Church, as you would.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. It's like,
So obvious.
yeah, Living Land, which is like the dinosaur land, and later on in TORG they had the Land Below, which is like the Hollow Earth.
Oh wow.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that wasn't in the main book. Nile Empire, which is Pulp, which is your mystery men plus Egypt.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, so it was very Raiders of the Lost Ark plus your Golden Age heroes, your Pulp heroes, your Shadow,
Right.
or the Spider. You ever read the Spider?
No.
No, it's really good. It's not in TORG. Orosh, which is the horror realm, and the horror realm was set in Malaysia, Indonesia. Pan-Pacifica, and this is a big change from the original TORG. It used to be called Nippon Tech, so Nippon Japan Tech.
Right.
So Pan-Pacifica, I guess, I don't know why they would change necessarily the name, but certainly there was a criticism in the old game about the way they portrayed Japan, and this was 1990, so it was still, I guess there's still some residual fear of like Japan taking over America. Commercially, not militarily.
Right. So they prefer to just offend all of the Pacific region instead of specifically
I guess
Japan.
so. I guess I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm going to guess it's a little bit more sensitive. And then there's Starcold. Starcold was actually an expansion realm, and they were basically techno demons. And they were pretty powerful, but they're now, I guess, in this book, and at least they're in the soundtrack CD. And there's bonus dominant zones. All right. So that should be interesting. Maybe we should have this as the soundtrack.
Yeah, we could.
We'll do this over.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess playing now.
Yes, right. You can hear the soundtrack as we speak.
We can't.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. These were for each realm, and this was one of the stretch goals. To have it, and we hit it where we got it. They actually made them up for us, not just digital.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, these are little
like
standees.
yeah,
Little tents,
yeah,
actually.
like table tents,
Cosm tents.
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
So this is Starcold. And yeah, just to give you a little, these are the axioms, the kind of the world laws, if you will, but the magic, social, spirit, and tech. So each world, including Core Earth, has a certain level on each one. So, a very, the Isle, which is a fantasy world, would have a very high magic and a very low tech.
Right. So in a specific session, would you actually move between realms so people would have to, or you're kind of
Yeah,
playing in one
absolutely.
realm? Okay.
Yeah, and you would be people. You could have Core Earthers, people from the Cyber Papacy, or at least that realm. I mean, the High Lords are the bad guys, are the bad people. Gosh, you know something? In 1990, I think they may have all have been. No.
Oh.
There was the Isle High Lord. There's kind of a conflict between. I think the bad guy was, or the bad person from Isle was a man, and the good one was a woman.
Ah.
But yeah, but the High Lords, kind of, and their realms are bad and invading, but they're still good, like Storm Knights from those realms as well. So they would combine. You could have like a ninja from like Pan-Pacifica, I guess you would call it now, with a paladin from Isle and a hard-boiled detective from the Nile Empire, plus, National Guards person from Core Earth. What do they call them? The National Guardsmen, not anymore, but National Guard.
Oh.
National Guard, and somebody from the National Guard.
From the National Guard.
Yeah. So they would travel in different realms, but of course those realms they have to interact with the realms, and somebody who's from the Cyber Papacy has a much higher tech than even like Core Earth. So whether or not their cybernetics works is built into the rules.
Interesting.
Yeah, and if somebody is like a magical character and trying to cast a spell in Core Earth, it's going to cause some contradictions. Yeah. So there's the Cyber Papacy. That was one of my favorites. Isle, I wasn't a huge fan of.
Yeah.
I was kind of going out of a fantasy phase into more dark. I mean, it was the 90s.
Right.
Orosh, the horror realm, and in the original, the Gaunt Man, the High Lord for the Orosh was the main High Lord.
Right.
Oh, and this was Orosh is kind of interesting because it was like Victoria, England combined with like Malaysia.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So, as you would. Nile Empire. Living Land. Core Earth. All right, Tech at 23. It's like kind of got you. Our magic is 9. It's not 0.
Wow.
So wow. And Pan-Pacifica, magic of 4, but tech at 24, so just slightly higher. Yeah. So that's the Cosm Tense. And oh, okay, that feels well. Yeah, I mean, you can see the gloss on camera. I think that feels pretty substantial.
Nice. Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I actually made up one of my maps. You know, I should have brought it for the other video.
Yes.
We don't have it on the other video because I wanted to just present what was actually in the box. But I bought one of those, those maps you put up, and actually did this to it.
Oh, nice.
And traced the realm.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're triangles, and you put your little anchors there, and you start to take over the realm. How much the reality is taken over the realm is indicated by the colors.
Oh.
Yeah. And so we can see the Living Land has invaded North America. Isle has invaded Scandinavia, Britain. The Blasted Land. Oh, I'm not familiar with that. Cyber Papacy, France. Isle, Northern Africa. Orosh, been very successful in that region of Asia.
Right.
Pan-Pacifica, very successful in Japan. Looks like they've hit Korea and parts of China. Yeah, so that is the invasion day 1. All right.
So the very first, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna find an adventure here. Hey, there's more dice. We are just spoiled for dice. Yeah, and so I think the adventure we're gonna see in here are some samples of how you can play in day 1, which I think would be pretty exciting and a great way to introduce. Whoa. All right. Day 90. I guess the storm.
And more dice.
That was smooth. Yeah. So we haven't been very successful.
Wow.
For the Storm Knight. So I guess there's a lot to do, taking over more. I wonder if the Blasted Land is where Darkhold was. Darkhold was originally in California, in Los Angeles, where it was based. Oh no, they got Darkhold. Oh yeah, there's Darkhold. So they've moved it over here. I guess that makes sense. One of the criticisms about the old game is a lot of it was set in America. Like they had, they did have a Tokyo book, but they also had the Los Angeles book, and then Darkhold was set in California, and the main adventure, a lot of it was set in California and that. So I guess they moved it over there. And yeah, Ulisses Spiel, they're from Germany, so I guess they recognize that there's a market in Russia. I don't know.
So maybe the West End Games offices were in California, so they just looked out their windows for the
That's
setting.
a good question. West End was certainly the company that used to own TORG was West End Games, probably most famous for the Star Wars game, the D6 Star Wars game, and yeah, they were really crazy about IP. They did pretty well. They ended up getting Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, and Ghostbusters, right? I think there was a Ghostbuster.
There might have been.
Yeah.
There was Necroscope, which I actually ended up reading. Oh, so there's the journal pack.
Oh, so character sheets, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Well, let's
nice.
open that up. It's plastic, but that's nice to make sure I get it in reasonably good condition. Record your Storm Knight's journey. All right. So we've got character sheets.
Nice.
Hey. Even though, we live in an age where you have access to like PDFs and printers, cheap printers. It's still nice to have something like that. Yeah, that's nicer than I could print out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really well done.
Yeah, so we've got normal one, and are these Cosm specific? Oh, it's like a little booklet.
Wow.
Wow, yeah. I'll probably just use PDFs for you guys. When we play.
I think yeah.
Probably just keep
those.
All right, maybe give you guys those.
Wow. Those are
Yeah.
nice.
So the game itself, or used to be, it's pretty much attributes and skills stacked together. So we can see that. Sorry, that's upside down for people. So you can kind of see that right there. And you would record. Yeah, it looks a little bit more simplified. Less skills. And your movement and that. So that's nice. And I got a nice little file. And now, oh guys, you should. Yeah, I hope they didn't put the main rulebook on the bottom.
Oh.
You gotta pack that in the middle.
Right.
All right, and that's nicely wrapped, as you can see. I have no idea what that dwarf is, but day one, so it's some day one adventures.
Right.
Yeah. And that's hardcover, as you can see. It's always nice with the hardcover books, or to see what the spine is like. There's been some recent books.
Yeah, that's true.
Where people have had issues with.
Right.
Ooh, I like it. More of a matte as opposed to a gloss cover, so that's nice. Yeah. Ooh. Sorry for the crinkling. The possibility wars have begun. I think that's actually a really good idea. I was pretty excited to hear about this adventure. It's not. Yeah, it's kind of an unusual setting. So yes, starting from the beginning would be a good way to get people familiar with it, and pretty exciting. I mean, you're sitting in North America, and then suddenly, like dinosaur with lizard people, Ineos or something. Ineos. The paper's above average, but not too heavy. I like that. I hate it when they have the paper's too heavy for the spine. I'd rather have black and white if you're not going to spend the money on the spine. And actually, that spine looks. That looks like a good spine.
Nice.
Yeah, there's no cracking or anything like that. So Act 1, Darkhold, and yeah, it looks like they're really keeping that cinematic aspect to it, where they really wanted to have Act 1 scenes, action, just so people always felt like they were in a movie. And in the old game, the characters were a little bit above average as compared to, not compared to the real world, but compared to other role-playing games. Yeah. So people could feel like, hey, I'm actually playing somebody that's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
More special. Yeah.
Yeah, some complaints, let's say a vampire, where, hey, I'm a vampire who's, 100 years old, but I'm kind of getting beaten up. we played one game where, and maybe this is bad, but he's like trying to hit on underage girls, and it didn't work out for him, which is good. Yeah, I was really, really happy with that.
Right.
But yeah, he wasn't so much. Yeah, not because he was a pedophile, but because he felt that a vampire should have been able to seduce them. Yeah. Don't try that at home. All right, some more cards. That's excellent. And oh wow, that doesn't even look like a screen. That looks like another book, but it's the GM screen.
Nice.
Here we have something both, I'm going to guess, from the Cyber Papacy and I'll say Nile Empire. It looks very pulpy.
So does the setting have some named characters? Like, so in each realm there's kind of like known entities?
They came out with some books, and I think they did have like iconic characters.
Right, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I didn't actually read the books, so kind of regret that, but I wasn't. I mean, when you look at the video for the old book, you'll see that there's not like iconic characters per se, like presented throughout the book, like you see in like Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Well done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really well done, and it's oriented horizontally. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can see on the one side, you got all the realms. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's really gonna take you. It's even got the map and back. So whoever designed that, I think did a really good job. I think really.
Nice. So yeah, so the photos are gloss, so they really stand out. That looks great.
And yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it's hard to tell with a game master screen, like just how good the information is. At a glance, I would say this would be better than the 5e or the first 5e screen. I know they've come up with a new one, so I can't judge. But I think the first one, I mean, this not Dead Space, but it was like character names or NPC names and that. But this looks all stuff, like the difficulty modifiers. Oh, it looks like we're keeping the chart. And that's where you roll the d20 and then you look at the chart. So yeah, I'm glad they didn't abandon that, because it's definitely a product of its time. But I paid $200 plus to play TORG.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, not a completely different game.
Yeah, and I think people are paying like more than I did to like sit down at a game, and I think they were paying because they remember how good the old game was.
Right.
Yeah, and we've got starting characters. So yeah, okay. Here we have the dwarf, who I've never seen before, but I recognize him or her from
the day one.
Day one. Yeah. So I guess they are bringing some of the stuff from newer game design and having familiar characters. And the police officer, a person, a realm runner, and that was the catch-all. It's like if you couldn't really decide, you would play a realm runner. Like they were good at going from the realm. So they're of course renegade priest, and when you look at the video for the old game, you see that the priest was on the cover. So maybe he was an iconic character. And this dwarf is a dragon warrior. One thing about the realms, they all had different. Some of them are similar. Like I think Nile Earth and Nile Empire and Korath were the same, but they had maximums on their attributes depending on where you're from. Yeah. Oh yeah, so I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Oh come on, you put it. All right. Delphi missions. Rising Storm. This is one of the stretch goals. So 12 adventures that span all the cosms of the possibility wars. Oh. Great for a one-night fill-in or extend an act. Okay.
Nice. So kind of one-shots?
Yeah, it sounds like it, yeah. Nice. I remember seeing the description. I wasn't 100% clear how quality the printed thing would be, but yeah, no, it is.
It's nice. Yeah.
It's good, yeah. Oh, it's got a little ribbon in there.
And it looks like new art, because the older art would all be black and white, right?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, there's kind of the Blasted Land is Mad Max. Nice. Awesome. Like, I didn't know about the Blasted Land. That is pretty cool. Demon Death Race. It's gonna be awesome. We're also getting into Gaslands. So
right.
That's
so we'll be
right up our alley. Yeah. And looks like Cyber Papacy. The Cyber Pope is the High Lord for the Cyber Papacy, and somebody who actually looks like they're from the Cyber Papacy. So. And what do they have? The Godnet. The Godnet is their version of the Matrix. That's what it's called. Probably still called that. All right, so the rules aren't at the absolute bottom, so that's fantastic. And these are the core rules. And 2 ribbons. That's really decent size, as you can see. And in the original game, it was like came in 3 books: the rules, the world book, which had like the templates. It was kind of a template game, and the adventure book. So we've seen the adventure books. So it'll be interesting if this has the GM's guide. Creatures are in the back. Yep. So they have world information. I wonder if they've abandoned the templates.
Oh.
I don't know, it looked like was what we saw. They didn't. And what they eventually did so it's all the world rules. Okay, so they've combined it. So the world book is in here. So we've got the Nile Empire, the Living Land. There's one of the big minions, common minions from the Living Land. And they were called, you could also actually play these guys as well in the game.
Oh, wow.
Adenos. Yeah. From different clans. There were also... I was going to say, there's also these like kind of plant creatures. I don't know if they were in all the realms. They were definitely in Orash, and I think they might have been in Living Land as well. They were kind of generic bad guys as well. And Nile Empire, as you see. I suppose you could play Egyptian characters. The High Lord for the Nile Empire was like a pharaoh-esque kind of Mobius, if I memory serves.
So in the
Just gonna move
just get
this
rid of
for a moment.
in the course of a campaign with the character, so say you started with a fantasy dwarf and then you're adventuring in other realms, would you end up with a fantasy dwarf with a laser pistol or capable of cyber hacking, or do you kind of stick with your basic skills? Like,
I think you could, and I think as the game expanded, and I think that was one of the criticisms of the old game, is that it was really tough to incorporate all the rules. Could you imagine you're playing from like Hollow Earth or primitive dinosaur world until they even eventually had the space gods, which brought in like biotechnology and of course from spaceships or bio spaceships. So just combining all of that was really hard.
Yeah.
And then not only did you have magic, but you also had faith-based miracles as they called them. So that's where the spirit came in. So somebody could, do miracles where perhaps they might not have been able to do like spells.
Right.
But, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you definitely could combine. And yeah, why wouldn't you pick up like a laser gun or something like that and then try to use it? So.
Right. Yeah. And from the cover, when you see the mix of the character types, that could also imagine the mixing of the technologies and stuff would be fun for character progression. So we'll find out.
Yeah. This book is near flawless in condition.
Nice.
That one little white thing that's gonna bother me because I am insane. But no, I'm happy with that. This probably came about as well protected or in good condition as Amazon, if not better.
Yeah.
So if you're, I don't know if you can order the cargo box, but if
you can afford that shipping.
Ulisses Steel is shipping it, I wouldn't be worried about it at all.
Yeah.
And then we've got a lot of tokens here.
Nice.
And these are things that you would face. Well, all right. So, get loose in there, but yeah. Oh, and they're just all gonna come out. But we've got the like Stella, which is kind of important in like grounding the realms, like or the realities. So we've got of course an obelisk for the Nile Empire and something that looks a little bit churchy for the Cyber. We got a Transforce Rex and
of course.
Triceratops. Yeah, okay. Well, that's really cool. And a lot of different character types, such as Shrewd Professor. People are like, anything else? Yeah, there's some else. Fierce Brawler, Discerning Strategist, and oh, great. And then these are good. Of course, there's conditions or other things that you use. Yeah, no, it's really well done. Yeah, the damage, at least in the older version, is a little bit more complicated than perhaps we're used to because they have like stun, wounds, knockout. So it was could be a lot to get your head around. So
and it looks like they've got a few different types of.
Yeah, I mean we've got like the blood and skulls. People are like, yeah, we can see that. And these, I'm gonna guess, stun.
Right.
Maybe wound, knockout, dead. Yeah. And then -2. Maybe that's the penalty that you get. But that's good if you're gonna have that kind of damage, then to track it. So let's. Yeah, it's. I mean, you get all excited, you get all the stretch goals, and then you're like, oh man, how am I gonna get this home?
Yeah, right.
And
right.
2, it's just like, oh, there's so much stuff.
Cards.
Yep.
Actually,
And you'll see in the video that I have them all sleeved. So what I'll do is I'll buy like a plastic thing. That's nice. Maybe if I put them in sleeves, I'll be able to fit them back in, but we'll see. All right. So we've got the Destiny cards and Cosm cards. So these affect the world. Destiny cards look like a lot like the drama deck in the old game where it has like effects. And then you play them as the game goes on, and in the other one it was divided between what the players can use and I guess what the game master uses. And the Cosm is like things like leaderships, like place 2 cards into other characters' card pools immediately from your hand, or pool immediately refill your hand. If this is similar to the old game, once you did an action, you can take cards from your hand and put them into your pool. And the reason why they did it that way is to kind of restrict
Right.
Like the cards you had available, instead of just having all the cards in your hand, you got to kind of play them out. And maybe after 3 actions or 4 actions, you have 3 or 4 cards in front of you, and then you can use more, one or more in the game.
And then the other players know what's available, what you have.
Yeah,
available.
that's a good point.
Right.
Yeah. So, I want to cork these. I was gonna say as they say, but I was like, has anybody said that about cards? Like, let's uncork the cards. No one says that. Not Mana Surge, yeah. So we'll have to definitely see. It's like 2 decks, so that's interesting. I remember I did ask a question. I got an answer. It's like when they release the world books, like they did with the old game, will they add to the decks?
Nice.
All right, yeah. So, show you. So, the Destiny deck not only includes cards like this, but cards like straight up. So, yeah, this might. This looks like in the old deck, and you see in the video, this is more like divided. This kind of information where you would have like the willpower that gave you like a very straight up +3 to something is on one half of it.
Nice.
But obviously, I think, going to play these slightly differently. So we'll have to look at that, and please come back and check out that video, and we can walk you through how to play the game. And I think, different from a lot of role-playing games, I think we'd have to have like at least like these 2 components.
Right.
Talking about the rules, but then also showing you the cards, because you definitely need the cards in front of you.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. To see that. So we'll try to do maybe, unlike some of our reviews, we'll try to do like a little bit of a playthrough.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right, and these are the 20. There's only 20 individual possibility tokens, but I'm not going to be able to open this. I'm so embarrassed. Get out. Oh, okay, so cool. Like poker chips with TORG.
Oh, nice.
On it. Yeah, that's nice. Get the kids started early on poker, I guess. Well, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, and so they're showing us, these are what the stands are for. So these cards are what you stand up. So I guess like one side faces the player and the one side gives the game master maybe all the stats he needs. So you get the nice image, and then on the other side, stats, and the little bag of, these guys. So the stands look like they're made for these.
Here's one of that plant creature I was talking about, a gospog, I think that was. Yeah, so these look like adversaries that you would face. Kanawa Security Trooper, so I'm guessing Pan-Pacifica. Aidnos Warrior, Living Land, Ghost, I'm gonna guess Orosh. Techno Demon.
You can hear him coming.
Yeah, so that's from Darkhold. Yeah. So that's a lot of stuff. I would say, there's like extra stuff that they throw in as a stretch goal. Hey, poker chips with stuff on it. Yeah, it's nice. But the components for the game, they look really well made. Like, they really went all in. Ulisses Spiel, I think they bought the rights to the game quite a while ago, and they did release a revised version digitally. I don't know if it was ever print. I bought it on Bundle of Holding, and it was actually better. It was actually an improvement on the rules. It was much clearer, much easier to read. Yeah, that was great. Wow. But they really spent the money. I can see where the $200 went.
That's nice. And they kept
in their bank.
Like they kept the iconic logo. They didn't think they were smarter than the original designers and kind of make a big change to the
the
logo.
That's a good point. I mean, and that's really tough when you buy an IP or buy like an old game, or if you're redoing an old game. How much of it do you keep? They went with a slightly different palette here. That's more of a purple. I think they had gray in the last one. So I like that choice. But I'm glad they did keep that, because that was a good logo. Yeah,
very iconic.
So look at this, that's pop. And I'm breaking my own rules. I put the core rules on the bottom.
Wow.
Kind of regretting getting married because I can't put this up on my wall because I have no say.
Oh no.
Like, can I put this? No. All right. How about in this one? No. Yeah, wow. That's good. So that's quite a bit, and the extra dice and that. I don't know if you can see all that. I mean, it's really a lot to like cram in there, but I hope you can appreciate that. And Yeah, we haven't cracked it open, or have we? Because we might be listening to it right now. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be really pleased with the rules. I'm happy with what they did with the revised rules. So they know how to write a rule book.
Good.
That was lots of examples in that. So yeah, please come back and we'll let you know. And just yeah, I can. That's nice for a company to write an apology letter for being 2 months late. I still don't have some stuff that's 2 years late.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And some people have never received stuff. I mean, that's pretty class.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's good. Yeah, so I'll definitely be. I would definitely confidently back another Kickstarter by this company. And oh yeah, they're gonna have a Living Land one. So yeah, I'm sold.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on them. So
Great.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, like you said, I hope that if you're thinking about getting into the new TORG, at least as far as the components go, we're definitely impressed.
Yeah.
And I hope you were somewhat impressed with the video and just all that's out there. I guess you don't need to do apology letter. It probably won't come. And I imagine what you would get if you bought just the game straight up. I think you're going to get the core rules. I can't imagine that they wouldn't make like the day one adventures available separately.
Right.
But I think the set you would get the core rules probably. I've seen it where I'm sure there's a set with the cards.
Right.
Whether that would be standard, I don't know. But yeah, you do need the cards to play it. I've seen people selling the Shadow Zone, which is a science fiction game that was also produced by West End Games, where they sell the cards separately and saying, hey, you can play it without the cards. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. So I think that's the minimum you would need. Yeah.
Right.
And I always think it's good to get adventures, or if they have adventures in the core book, play through it, because it gives you an idea of how you can play and what kind of how a game runs. Scene structure, act structure, agency. So it doesn't look like they have that in the core book. You do certainly have some, like the werewolf and shock troopers and thralls. So you do have adversaries in which you can use to make your own adventures. But yeah, it looks like we have 2 options that they will have available, both the Delphi missions and the day one adventures for day one. All right.
Excellent.
Cool.
Well, yeah, looks good.
Yeah. And yeah, if you found this video helpful, please check out our other videos and like, share, and subscribe this one. And by all means, check out our unearthing. It's our way of saying of an unboxing of an old game.
Right.
Of TORG. And that, we'll be talking a little bit more about the history of TORG, as well as try to give you a better idea of how to play the game. We just didn't feel confident since we hadn't, cracked open the book or in order to give you a real run through of the rules. And we want to be a little bit more thorough with a game you might actually buy that's out there.
Right.
Whereas the old one's kind of more nostalgia.
Yeah, and maybe only digital at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, digital. Or in a second-hand
right.
store
Right.
or on Amazon. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.